He has a whole hour to set it up every week.
Actually, I've been here since you were good. We're good. I've been here
Thank you,
since 9
Marie.
o'clock, and I anyway. So you guys have been. First of all, how did you get? How did Chris contact you? How'd you come into getting involved in the project?
Actually, my friend, and she's actually a client of mine, Anne. She's actually here. She's in from out of town.
Hi,
She
Ann.
actually tagged me on the post and said, "Lacy McClary, you need to do this." And so she reached out. I reached out, and then all the dots connected. And I don't feel like anything happens by chance. And so I get to work with Summer and Chris, and I think it's just an amazing project that's going on. So.
And I didn't do the right introduction. Lacy is here,
right.
Summer is here, and this is my wife, Kim. Yeah.
Yeah. You're so not.
Now how did you guys?
So can I just ask? Let's just back up a little bit. So how did you guys? How did you come to be artists? Like, tell us a little bit about yourselves and how you ended up here on Fort Myers Beach. To give a little context to the conversation. Go ahead. You go first.
Start? Okay, I can start. Okay, well, my name is Summer. Nice to meet you. I was born and raised in Bonita Springs, so I grew up coming to Fort Myers Beach. So I've been doing art my entire life. I got really big into it in high school, and I was doing art shows and stuff like that for my school. And then I went to college for it and got a degree in illustration and design. And then I moved back home and started up my business doing murals. But I was just a server when I came back at a restaurant, and they needed help. They wanted a mural outside, and I didn't know how to do murals. I mean, that's pretty large scale coming out of a school doing just illustrations. So I told them, please let me try it. And they're like, no, we need someone more professional. It's a huge, scale. I'm like, if you just let me do one, I'm like, I will cover it up.
Yeah,
you
right. You
like
can cover it
I
with
will
paint
pay
if
for
you
all of
want.
it.
That's
And they
right.
loved it. So I did 8 more. And then after that, I quit. They weren't happy about that. Because then they lost their server. But and then I started up my business, and now I'm 3 years strong with it. And I'm constantly reaching out to people to do murals and just spread art and everything everywhere. I travel all over Florida. So when Fort Myers Beach happened with all that devastation, I actually created shirts, and I donated all the money to like Doc's Beach House, Yotako, families. And I also reached out to these businesses. I'll give you a good deal. If you let me fix this up for you, I'll charge you just about nothing, because I was trying to get myself out there and also just helping. I was born and raised here, so it was really important for me, on top of, just having a growing business as well. So, Of course, I reached out to Chris when I heard he was looking, and that's how I got into it. I'm like, I'll donate it. Just let me do it. And now it's amazing. It's such a great experience. It's been an awesome experience, and everyone's support has been so appreciated. I just want to get that out there because it's overwhelmingly appreciated.
Yeah. And how did you get involved? And your history?
As far as art goes, yeah. So I've pretty much.
I mean, unless you want to tell us some personal details, that'd be funny and entertaining.
I can get into that too. I could probably write a book.
Oh, don't give him an inch. He'll take a mile.
There's no hard stop on the show. We can
That's right. That's right.
No, I've been an artist since I was a child, and to me, some of the greatest artists, like my little niece, and their minds and their creativity is just unleashed, and they don't put a restriction on it, and it's just amazing. So literally, ever since I was little, I've been doing art. All through school, I did art. My background is actually in interior design, and I'm a self-taught painter. I did not go to school to be a painter or an artist, but I have been doing art professionally it's been about 15 years now. One of the murals that everybody may know would be at the Mad Hatter restaurant, which did get wiped out in the hurricane. And then my studio was right over the bridge here, right by Olson Marine. And so all the shrimp boats ended up kind of over it and on top of it. But Bill Simmer was a dear friend of mine, and he leased me that space, and I'm forever grateful to him. And so I had a studio and gallery, and then I had a studio and gallery over on Sanibel towards the lighthouse. So I've been out on Sanibel putting my artwork in restaurants out there for, it's been about 15 years now. And so George and Wendy's, that was there. So literally every single restaurant my artwork was in has been demolished by the hurricane. So I am now working on getting some new stuff out there and new places. And this project is so much hope and really healing. It's going to be healing for me, even going through the pictures and honoring certain people, honoring memories and moments for me. It's been really interesting. I know I've kind of been holding my design a little close to the sleeve, but I want it to be perfect and really represent my heart and love for Fort Myers Beach.
So everybody knows what's going on. The pictures that you've seen so far on the elevator, Summer she's done the side that faces La Ola, and that's also your side that's facing Margaritaville. So you've painted the turtles, and you've painted the pier, and welcome to Fort Myers Beach, which is now what people see when they come over the bridge. That's the first thing they see, which is, did you plan that way? Nice. And so
No, it was just a mistake.
what do I know? Very nice. And so you'll finish your side, and then Lacy, you'll take the other two sides when that's complete.
I'm doing the beach side and then the side facing the restaurant, and we're sharing a lift. So
is it that if you had two lifts, it would be better, or one lift is?
I think we're getting close to possibly. I mean, we're open to lift options.
Yeah. And just so everybody knows that's watching, we have a fairly large audience today. If you go to Beach Talk Radio News right now, you can donate to the GoFundMe page, which all the money's going to Lacy and Summer for what they're doing. So we did get a nice kiss yesterday or the day before, which boosted the total quite a bit. So you can go over there and you can click on the GoFundMe page. It would be nice to be able to hit that 15,000 number, because I'm sure that will help you recover some of the stuff that you've lost too.
Absolutely. And I know Summer, she's been, not to speak for you, but she's been moving around and stuff since the hurricane as well. And I don't know if anybody caught the news press, but we were on the front page of the news press, and her beautiful little daughter Nova was there painting with her, and it was adorable. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, if you go to the news press online, you can see the time lapse.
Yeah.
Like they have that in the box online where you could see the time lapse of you and your daughter there, which is pretty cool. So
I was really touched.
How old is she?
I got her working at 1.
She
Just turned 1 on Tuesday.
Oh my gosh.
wait,
Well,
she
happy
looked like she was
birthday.
walking.
Yeah.
Well,
Do you walk it? It's been
She
so long
runs.
since I had I mean, I'd like to have more kids, but do they walk at one?
that's not happening.
She
Why
has
not?
her running the lift. No.
She's running. She's been walking since she was
I
8
mean,
and a half months old.
thank
so-
you. How old do you start walking? I've totally
Between like 10 and 12,
So was she
10
there
and 18
like
months.
when
But it's
did
on
she
a
start
10 now.
walking? When?
8 and a half months old.
Oh, is that early?
Wow.
That sounds
I've
like
been
it's early.
chasing her around
I
for
see.
a while.
All right. So, how did you come up with the idea for the pier? See, I thought it was just going to be the pier. I was like, "Holy shit!" That looks awesome. And then all of a sudden, you're adding turtles. Like you would think all those turtles that you painted there would take a freaking year. It was crazy how they just started multiplying on top of that pier. I mean, how does that happen?
I work.
Okay, thank you. And thank you for coming on. I mean, come on.
I just
let us in on the
Sorry.
secret.
I know I'm adding little and little every other day, So like today, I'm going to go work after this and you'll see a little bit more. But I still have a lot more to add. And there's a lot of meaning behind all of it.
All right, well, tell us what the meaning is.
Well, first of all, it's Fort Myers Beach, obviously. I had to put in the pier. The pier is super important. And then the sea turtles are representing all the people who passed away on the island. So they're going out to sea, which is ironic because all the sea turtles just started hatching like this past week or so, which it was like record breaking or something. So that's cool. Right now I'm working on the American flag, which is going to flow from one wall to the second because, of course, America. And then I'm going to have a shrimp boat that I'm probably going to start today. And then I'm going to have more turtles and then possibly an osprey. Osprey holding a stick because at the end of the hurricane, they were all freaking out about losing their homes, but they got up picked up a stick and they started rebuilding. So it's going to have all these messages, and it's, you know, to have the reminder of the nostalgic Times Square that we had, but also there's going to be a lot more coming, greater stuff too. So
Now, Lacy, one of the things you said before the
Do you
show.
know what an osprey is?
Can we go through one show without her just trying to make me look dumb?
Do
Gotta
you?
be that way. It's a bird, dear. It's a bird with a big giant neck. Or is that an ostrich? I get them confused. It's a pretty bird. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So, Lacy,
I'll show you in a couple days.
thank you. One of the things
And
that,
I rest my case.
that you said was that you want people to give you suggestions for when you get your turn at the lift. So
Yes.
if anybody wants to suggest something, you can type. I know
Well,
this is going to be
let me
crazy.
let me clarify
All right, go
this
ahead.
before it gets
Go
out
ahead.
of hand, because I already can feel this coming on.
Yeah.
So basically, my side part of it will be an area where folks can come and take a picture and tag themselves. That was really important to Chris. But I want it to be a positive message, and so it's going to be very colorful. And also the other parts that I have figured out at this point, I believe will definitely include a sailboat and have a kind of shine on, sail on, soar on, like really like we're going to get through this. We're resilient. Really have a lot of hope that, things can be restored from what has happened. And I want it to be colorful and fun and happy. So I'm kind of at that point in the design process. Probably by Monday, I will have it fully put together. I'd say it's about 3/4 of the way, both sides.
So let me ask you this.
No, let me ask.
No, let me ask.
Do you sketch it out first, or do you just do it in your mind and then go?
Stole my question.
So sketch it out first. Just because of I do it differently depending on the painting. Like when I paint, a lot of times I paint with my hands. I don't paint with brushes. So something like this, we grid it out, we plan it out, and she was amazing, man. She freehanded. No. No.
No.
I won't show it. I'll keep it to myself.
That's the brain of an artist right there. That's not okay.
It looks like scribble.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's
That's cool. Is that what the the elevator is going to look like?
hell yeah.
Wow, that looks like scribble. Yeah. I'm sure it's not going to look like. What
No.
else? You got any phone
Dear-
numbers in here?
that's like the book,
know.
the
Your
movie
little
that-
black book.
I know,
there.
no, it's
That's like videos at home with
What
the
was it on the
spoons on
elf?
your
This
nipples.
is the
Oh
book.
my! Your face is super red. You poor thing.
You got-
Holy.
How about that? How about your friends doing that to you
I
like
tell
that?
you what.
So
Wow.
But my thought was, I would like to incorporate a bright flamingo, maybe a seahorse, maybe a turtle. I know she's also doing turtle, so I don't want to go turtle heavy. But I'm trying to figure out an area where to incorporate that. The meaning behind seahorses are pretty incredible. So that really
love
speaks
them.
to me.
are there a lot of seahorses on Fort Myers Beach, or is there?
There are.
On the
I mean,
beach.
where would you
They're
find
in
one?
in the ocean.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. I
You
don't go
see
out.
the
I don't go out
level
in the
of
water
knowledge
very
here.
often. So, no.
They're small, but
yeah.
pretty incredible
Yeah.
creatures. So
So your pants are totally filled with paint. Like how many years
Are
back
those your
do
painting
those
pants?
pants
I think,
go?
I
Like,
think every item of clothing that I own is called painting clothes.
Yeah, you
But
do.
to follow up on that last point, we did start a page called Restored.
are you talking about Chris's page?
Yeah,
It's called
it's a
Times Square
project.
Project.
Yes. So
You can go on
there's a
that
lot
now.
of updates on that. And then if I'm going to post a couple things on there, just some little segments of what I'm working on. I think at the end of this, it's going to be a little bit of it won't be a surprise to me because I do know what I'm doing, but just like anything else, everything's a process. And so while you're creating, things come together. You're out there painting, you see something different and it strikes you as inspiration. You
Yeah.
go with it.
I have to be honest. When Chris said that he was going to refurbish the wall, I mean, it had rebar coming out of it. It was totally hammered from the storm, but it was still standing. And he had the blue paint there. And then he said he was gonna bring artists in to paint it. And I thought, wow, I mean that's interesting. But it turned out to be such a huge inspiration for folks on the beach, and so many people were following it. The TV stations were covering it, and the newspaper. was
Yeah.
covering it, and it's really become an important part of what's. I mean, Times Square down there is going to take forever to be rebuilt, and so it's nice to see something looking bright down there.
Yeah.
Did you think it was going to be as big as it's become?
No, not at all.
So
I'm glad it has.
yeah,
Well,
Yeah. I personally am not. I'm not surprised because I think everybody has been coming down here, and it's like all you see is destruction. And it's, I mean, I lived on Sanibel, and I've told several people that live on Sanibel, have you driven to Fort Myers Beach?
Yeah.
The devastation is unreal,
Mhm.
and it literally is still. It still is. This, I mean, there's been a lot done, but at the same time, it still is really
yeah.
rough over
so
here.
much more
and
to do.
and
You're
it's
right.
and it feels like, is it going to change? And so the fact to see some color in a place where people went to take pictures at the pier,
Yep.
I think is such an inspiration and wonderful
When
thing.
I was over there,
too, let me just
Go
say
ahead.
this. I to your point about having some color, it was a big deal when all the street signs were down and people started making the street signs and making them colorful. That was a huge thing. It was uplifting for
It was
everybody.
a little
it was
thing,
such
too.
it was such
Yeah.
a little thing, but it was a huge thing to see some color. I mean, and help people know where they were going. But
Yeah.
but it,
One of
are
the
you
things-
making faces behind me?
no, I
Oh,
would do
okay.
that right to you. I wouldn't do it behind
I
you.
was trying not to tear up.
No. One of the
I'm
things.
not kidding.
One of the things that I
Aw.
think would be cool when you guys are done is if there's a way to put like
Don't
a
listen
circular
to him.
staircase where people could come right up to where it says "Welcome to Fort Myers Beach" and take selfies that way. I mean, that would be an
Well, you're
amazing
gonna put
thing.
in a spot where people can take
There
selfies.
will be a lower spot, and it will
Okay.
have FMB and some other lettering and wordage that I think will be inspiring and positive and colorful.
Now we
So-
had a question from the audience.
Wait, okay.
Is it how long did it take you to do that side, Summer?
The front side, probably 3 days, working about 6 hours a day. This heat kills me. So 6
Well,
hours
geez,
is about my
I
max.
can't believe it took you that long for that. I mean, holy cow.
that's
I know,
incredible.
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy.
I'm like, Chris is like, so how long is it going to take you? I go, Chris, let's go ahead and rent that lift for the month, okay?
Yeah.
Right. Well,
And I'm like, she's a machine.
Lacey, before you
Wow.
let it get away, you want suggestions for whatever spot you have left. So if you want to type suggestions in the chat box, I will pass them along to you. Now go ahead and make some parameters.
Yeah,
there.
if they're like a sea creature or something that is representative of something to you, or something on Fort Myers Beach that's special to you, if there's some way I can incorporate something, I will. To me, murals, I love when you walk up to a mural and you go, wow, look at the color on that, or wow, look at the scale of that. And so sometimes to me, when it gets too busy, things get lost in translation. So I don't want that to happen.
Not
I-
like a Where is Waldo kind of situation.
Yes.
Right.
So it will be very clear. Of it. My piece will be a little bit more geometric, probably a little bit more modern side, and hopefully a little bit funky. So I would like to do some type of sea creature, because I know that's what I'm known for on Sanibel and over here. But I'm also known for my abstract work and modern work. So,
Can you like embed an image in there, like just one?
Yeah.
Just like one thing that people can find. Okay.
I'm going to get creative with it.
Yeah.
I just have a question because
Okay.
I'm an artist too, but we have a home here at Fort Myers Beach on the south end, but we in Port Clinton, Ohio, have murals that have been painted because we're known for the War of 1812. So I'm curious because the sun is hotter here than up north on Lake Erie,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the wintertime. But over the years, when you're when you're done with the painting part, is there some kind of lacquer you put over that to preserve it so it lasts longer, that it doesn't chip off? Because over the years, they've had to repaint that mural. I just want to put that out to you
Yeah.
if you want to think about it.
I do sometimes, depending on where it is.
Uh-huh.
But I use exterior house paint, so
Okay.
it lasts
Okay.
long.
And the
Long
other
time.
question is my suggestion, so I don't
Uh-huh.
have to write it down. on the south end of the island, there is an eagle. And
Yep.
he's been in Laguna Shores for years, which they had to rebuild their nest. And I'm a wildlife photographer. So Nancy Hurl would like to see an eagle
I
for
think
for the strength,
I have a feeling that
strength
was in your
of,
wheelhouse there.
you know, their strength to bring us all back together.
yeah.
And it's nice meeting you. You guys
Nice
are
to meet you.
awesome.
Thank you.
So
they're
yes,
awesome.
she's awesome.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you.
But yes, so I did a picture right after the storm because literally lost all of my supplies and everything else. So I got on the internet, started creating, and did the broken down pier with an eagle flying over it that has a heart on its back. And I'm hoping to incorporate that actual eagle in the picture with the heart.
Wait, did
Um,
you say you painted that somewhere? Is it for sale somewhere?
It's on my website. It's a print. You can get it in. I actually had somebody order one last week that was 48 by 60 printed.
Wow.
And I'm going to embellish it with paint for her.
And the name of the website,
Um,
please?
LacyMcClary.com. And so I moved. So I had to move out of my cottage. I'm getting off track here, but I had to move out of my little cottage on Sanibel. I lost my home. And so I moved into this property in Fort Myers, and literally, I was like, okay, this is a gift. I mean, I'm living off of a garage space. I've made a kitchen, but the whole garage it's basically like an open air thing like this, unair conditioned. That's what I've been working in, which I'm so grateful to have a place to work and to live. But out the window is an eagle's nest, and that is the only reason the property is still there. And the eagles lost their nest. And so literally every day I started watching them building, and he's I think first year, I believe first or second year dad. And this eagle was out of control, like building this nest back. And so these eagles have been such an inspiration. I saw them the other day. The parents have already come back. They had 2 babies. It was incredible. It was like,
Wow.
I became a bird watcher. It was
Wow.
like out of control.
Great story. So some of the suggestions were, they love the eagle idea. Manatees.
So you'll see that
Yeah.
in there.
Manatees. Lot of manatees, Lacey. Dolphins.
Well, a lot of manatees.
Dolphins, manatees, shrimp, pelicans, but the eagle got some
Yeah.
I
big
like that.
kudos.
Yeah.
So
So when you were talking about murals everywhere, have you been to Austin, Texas? Because they have like, it's a thing. You go there and they have murals everywhere, and people go and get their pictures in front of them. And it just is such a unique thing that it would be so great to see that down here, like
Yes.
different places, make it a spot where people can go take a picture. And like you said,
Yeah.
bring some beauty amid all of
Mhm.
this
I love
devastation.
beauty. Beauty is my middle name. No,
Is it?
it is.
You're married to her, right?
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Very nice, Lacey. How about a man of war with tentacles? They can be so beautiful, but their sting is hurtful. What's a man of war look like?
I think
like a
that's more like a
jellyfish.
yeah.
We don't want that. No, that's a dumb idea. I'm just kidding. I'm
Oh.
kidding. I'm
It's-
joking. I'm
It's
just
so
joking.
interesting if you look up the meaning of different animals,
Mhm.
what it means. So they all have important meanings.
What?
You have a lot of options.
Yeah. Do you need paint supplies? Do you need rollers? Do you need
Well,
turpentine? Anything?
I have a trailer
thinner.
that's full of stuff.
Yeah.
I think I've only had to buy one thing of paint, or no, maybe for the background. But the lift, I'll be done with this weekend, so it's hers.
Yeah. So
So-
Summer,
And you're
That
gonna
would've
be
been
on.
2 weeks ago, but
you got lots of tattoos
But-
there. So what are the
Yes.
meanings
I'll
are
talk-
like? You got there everywhere. Like what's going on with that?
listen,
Like,
is
go
it Ed? Ed.
What
I
do you mean,
travel
is it
a
Ed?
lot.
come on now. I mean, so
I
what is
travel
that?
a lot.
Yeah.
I draw all over myself for a really
I
long
see.
time.
I mean,
So do you
So
draw
they
them
all
and then
have
have
meaning.
somebody
do you draw
else
them
do
first and say, I want this on my shoulder, or
Sometimes they're spur of the moment. Sometimes
Yeah.
I'll just go in the shop, draw it, and then
I
hand it
see.
to them.
Spur of the
Do you
moment.
have someone that you specifically
Yeah.
use here? Yeah.
I do have an artist that I've known for a really long time. She's been tattooing me for a very long time, Amber Johnson.
Okay.
She's over in Benito or Estero now. Or Amber.
One time I
Patachi,
was
so she got
driving
married.
home and I called her and I said, "Dear, I'm just going to stop by the tattoo shop and I got to get one on my back." I mean, it's just become a regular thing now.
You're old.
I know. I mean, that's a different generation back then. So do you,
The sports car comes next.
the what?
Sports car.
Sport-
for him?
You have a
Yeah,
sports car?
right.
Oh no,
I'm giving
no.
you a hard
I mean, look at
time.
him driving out here. That
For your
piece of
midlife
malarkey out
crisis.
there. So.
No, he knows nothing about cars, so that
So,
would not be a thing.
what other kind of painting do you guys? I mean, give out your website so people can go on there and buy your products. I mean, they're amazing. I've seen both of the websites. So,
What
go
is
ahead,
yours,
Summer. I know you're
Summer?
mad at me because I asked about the tattoo, but go ahead and give out the website and all that.
Mine is Summer, Summa, Daze, Daze, art.com.
So, how did you
So-
come up with SUMMA?
So, I know it's gotten confusing for everybody, so I should probably change it soon. But it was named after a cottage out here.
No kidding.
So, yeah, I grew up going to this house. My friend Keith lived out here for a really long time before the hurricane, and we used to hang out there in high school. And then it got bought, and then they made them all into cottages, and then it was called Summer Daze after that. So I was like, if I have a business, that's what I'm naming it. And sure enough, I did. And
Wow.
now I'm here, and it's a crazy circle.
No kidding. Wow. So listen, so I've been trying to work with the town and the mayor about the wavy wall in Times Square. You know what I'm talking about over by where Dairy
Lynn Hall
Queen used
Park.
to be, and that where it separates Times Square from Lynn Hall Park. They got that wavy wall there.
Mhm.
Could you guys, like, if we raised enough money, could you paint like the old pictures of Pete's Time Out and Plaka and the different restaurants? If we got your
Yeah.
pictures, I mean, I don't, the town, we got to prove it with the town, but we've been talking about that entire wavy wall. It's an ugly pink right now. It would be cool to be able to see the old restaurants on that wavy wall going
I
from
think that
one
would be
end.
cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So what kind of money do I need to raise for that? What do you think?
For me,
Not to put you on the
No,
spot or
seriously. I
anything.
mean, how much?
For me, it really depends on the design and everything,
Yeah.
but I want to paint this whole island so bad.
Right.
I
Yep.
mean, I would take donations or, give you discount. I do
What do you
still have
think?
to work.
10,000
and a kid,
enough? Would 10,000 be enough for
I
the
haven't
wall?
looked at how long it
That's
is, but
All right. Well, why?
we can
well,
we can go with it.
yeah. If you,
I mean, I'm looking at this wall over here, and I'm thinking, let's hit this one next summer, right here.
Yeah.
Let's do
Yeah.
a big flamingo, big
Yeah.
What wall
seahorse.
is
Let's do some fun stuff over
oh,
here.
over there. Oh, yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
nice because you can see that wall from. You can see it from coming over the bridge. You can
So-
see that wall too. So
So
I'll
whoever,
paint all this.
let's do this.
no, when you guys go to Times Square today, send me a number, and I'll get with the town because that needs to be spruced up
Yeah.
a little bit. It's
I'd like to
just
see
kinda
that whole area
plain.
spruced
Yeah.
up,
You're right.
all
You're
of
right.
all of it.
So if people want to come over and watch you paint today, what time will you be there?
I'm going right now.
Yeah.
Or whenever you're done with me.
Well,
She's like, she's like,
been done with me for the
"Please
last
let it
15
be
minutes,
over
like-
as
She's just
soon
dealing with a
as
1-year-old, so-
possible."
Right.
Whenever you're going to
She's
let
like
me go.
running the
Well,
Where-
then she should be well prepared to deal with him.
She's driving the
Right.
bus right here.
hey, how dare you?
No,
No.
I'm kidding. I'm
No.
kidding.
So just
Oh
give
my
out
God,
your
fun.
information one more time, and then we'll let you guys go paint.
Go ahead, you go first.
You could just call me. My number is 954-743-8652. I'm really simple and easygoing. 954-743-8652. Or my website is Summa, Summa, Daze, art.com.
All right.
That
Got
creeper
it.
over there is just putting it on there.
Greg's on it.
All
He's
right,
got
go
it right.
ahead.
And my phone number is 918-740-4972, and it is LacyMcClary.com.
Say it
Um,
one more
and
time
then-
slowly.
918-740-4972. And my website is what is it? LacyMcClary.com. And then on social media, it's Lacy McClary Studio and Gallery on Instagram and Facebook.
Now,
And where
Lacy,
can I get those glasses? I love them.
I know.
I buy direct.
They are really cool.
You know, I have to be honest with you. When I first saw the glasses, they looked like there was tape across, like taping it
Yeah.
together. So it's a different. I guess it's a style thing for younger
I
people.
just got these in,
And now
and
I apologize to both of you.
No,
Thank
Lacy,
you.
how dare she do that?
No.
I mean,
Just one to you,
And
but now
Lacy.
it's also-
I did want
Chris?
to. I did want to follow up. You mentioned, do you need anything? I know Chris had
Yeah.
mentioned
You mentioned.
possibly if he can get it approved, and if it's something we can do to do, like maybe solar lighting at night, so we can see that. If for some reason
It's
they
gotta
cannot,
be amber.
it's got to
Yep.
be turtle friendly.
if for some reason we cannot get the lift level on the two areas that I'm painting, we may end up needing a boom lift, but I think we will be able to get it level.
Yeah.
I would prefer to use what we've been using.
Yeah.
And so we're just really excited to do this project for Fort Myers Beach,
Yeah.
and
It
we
looks-
really
it
hope
looks
to
re-
keep adding color around here, local color.
It looks
and,
amazing. I mean, it really does.
Honoring Chris's family too, and the legacy that this was his idea, and it was really important to his heart to honor his family and his dad. And they have Norm's Parking. They also had the surf shop there at Times Square. And I think it's such a beautiful thing that he's done, and such a beautiful thing in his heart that he thought up. And the fact that we're doing this together and met, I think it is just incredible. And we're happy to give back to everyone.
It looks amazing, and you guys are doing an awesome job. So thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you
on
so
and
much.
putting up with Kim. We really appreciate
Big
it.
hand of a
Thank you.
Before they go, if anybody else wants to donate, and you guys
yes, and
just
thank
take
you
the
to
money with you.
everybody. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for the donation.
Thank you guys for coming on. Thank you guys for coming down. So, all right, before we get to our next guest, we need to tell you about our great sponsors like Jorge Barrera.